Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Bowling League's Blood Bowl number 5. Thank you, SB Beaver. I was going to say let's take care of some business first, but we don't need to because SB Beaver's on the ball. Welcome everybody to the stream tonight. We've got the final game. Well, I haven't decided how to call the consolation match. We'll say this is the penultimate game of round 2, but we got a fun one tonight. Tonight it's going to be we've got the Chaos Renegades of the Fishy Fiends versus the Goblins of the Gunner Gets Ajax versus Cobblestorm. Sorry, I had to find the activity. I'm totally not prepared. Yet another rail stare. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. SB Beaver with the sub. I just realized I can't hear any audio. Let me fix that too. Oh man, thank you very much for the sub. 61 months is a long time. Thank you very much for your generosity. I appreciate it. Let's take a look at the bracket real quick before we take a look at the two teams and before I decide to fix my audio because I'm totally prepared tonight. Ajax, all right, welcome to the stream. I will refresh that. Thank you very much. All right, we are in the bottom bracket here in Blood Bowl number 5. Round 1 saw Conspicuous Disunion take on the Fishy Fiends. That was Necro versus Chaos Renegades. The Fishy Fiends had Advance take on the Gunner Gets, who defeated the Discomancers, another Necro team. The Tizork Savage Boys defeated the Gunner Balls in an Orc mirror match. Oh, Electric Man with the sub. Thank you very much for your generosity, Electric Man. Good to see you here. Thank you very, very much. Tizork Savage Boys then taking on Philosopher's Song, who defeated Entanglement's Philosopher's Song, a lizard team, taking on the Imperial Nobility of Entanglement's Philosopher's Song, then defeating the Savage Boys to advance to round 3. The winner of tonight's match will advance to round 3. Uh-oh. I'm totally prepared. There we go. We'll advance to round 3. The loser of tonight's match will take on who lost? Listen, I'm totally prepared. We'll take on the Tizork Savage Boys. I literally just talked about this. We'll take on the Tizork Savage Boys, and the winner of that match will advance to round 3 as well. That team will be you see the 5P consolation winner there. They'll take on the Blitzburg Steelers, who unfortunately can't participate in this competition this season, and so a bye has been awarded to the winner of that consolation match. Technobabble Inc. matched up against the Pit Stars. All these pairings are random, by the way. Technobabble Inc.'s My Human team against the Pip Stars, a lizard team. Odin and Snuffle making the Blood Bowl here as well. They're a Norse team. They're going to face off against MAML Nightmare. That's a Necro team. And the two teams remaining from here will advance to the upper bracket to take on the two teams that have made the finals all season long. The Believe Broncos, coached by BB Nut. They're a Nurgle team. And the NC Snakes, a Dark Elf team coached by Moob, as Nuffle would have it. These two teams have been seeded in such a way that they could make the finals for a fourth time here this season, and this time for all the marbles to be declared the season champion. Oh, thank you very much, Ajax. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. You said you've updated your roster, A. Let's take a look. The Fishy Fiends coming in with 16, 14, 13, 12, 11 on the roster. They were down a player just a few moments ago. They picked up their 11th. They've got all 3 big guys on the roster. They have a Minotaur, an Ogre, and a Rat Ogre. They've got their Orc and their Dark Elf. Double-time Skitterwake. That's the MA8. Skaven will not be participating this week due to an injury in round number 1. Winter Gust out this week as well. He's the Claw block player. Not good to lose a block player. Claw, not too much of an effect tonight. Could be against the Trolls, I suppose. 1 Oppo, 5 dedicated fans, and 3 rerolls. They're going to face off against the Gobos of the Goner Gets. They have 15 on the roster, bringing their TV to 1,255,000 gold. I don't know what Ajax picked up, but he's given up about three 320, I think 320,000 gold in petty cash going to the Goddard Gets tonight. They had a couple of options. They have a number of options more here for the inducement phase. We'll talk about in just a minute. They have a Hooligan, a Fanatic, a Looney, all on the roster. 2 trained trolls and a whole bunch of linemen. 1 apothecary, 4 dedicated fans, 2 rerolls. SB Beaver, thank you very much. How are these two teams going to play tonight? Well, I think it's whoever murders the other player or the other team first. They're going to be the winners. That'll generally win you a game if you can murder the other team. For the Fishy Fiends, it comes down to these 3 big guys here. Well, it doesn't really just come down to the 3 big guys. Typically, we focus on these big guys. They do have a bunch of other positionals. They've lost Double Time Skitterwake, which I think is a pretty significant loss. They're losing that MA8 player, especially when there's an MA8 Goblin on the other roster. These 3 big guys can really put the hurt in. 2 with Frenzy. They all have Mighty Blow. 2 have Block. 2 have Guard. Sargason the Foul can be made reliable with a teammate. And then a number of players with the block skill. He needs to punch these goblins into the stratosphere in order to win tonight. And he needs to do this in such a way that he either gets the secret weapons off the pitch ASAP, or he makes those secret weapons pretty unsafe, right? So, for example, if the Goddard Gets are going to pick up Bomber Dribblestot, then I think the Fishy Fiends are going to want to go in and take the mark against the Bomber to prevent Bomber Dribblestot from being able to capitalize on his accurate skill. Things of this nature, right? If you can get a block on the Fanatic, even if it's a 1-die block, maybe even if it's an uphill block, you knock down that Fanatic's off the pitch, right? The Looney, if you can get a block on the Looney, it's a +3 against the Looney because a chainsaw hurts even when you're holding it. So he really needs to focus on these secret weapons. That's what the Goddard Gets are going to be about tonight. If these secret weapons are ejected from the game, the Goddard Gets still have they still have plenty of players. They still have a decent roster. Of course, those trained trolls can throw those goblins to give them a little bit more options here in tonight's matchup. But really, it's those secret weapons versus the big guys tonight. The Goddard Gets with about 320k in petty cash tonight to pick up. I think they're going to pick up 3 bribes. They'll probably pick up Bomber. They might change things around a bit. They might pick up a Wizard instead. They could even go for something like Ripper Bolgrot. But I think we're going to see a whole bunch of bribes from the Goddard Gets tonight. And they're going to go in hard with those secret weapons, right? And the fouling, right? They do have the Fowler here, who they have. I thought he had one that had both. Was he killed? Was he murdered? I thought he had a sneaky get dirty player. Apparently, he doesn't gonna get away with it. Of course, the dirty player gonna get a shot is the sneaky get. So unfortunately, that he doesn't have the combination here. But of course, the Hooligan can put in the work, right? The Hooligan, that's his job, is to whack people with that giant stick of his. So I'm gonna stop yammering because I am in disarray right now. And we're gonna get this game underway here. I'm gonna see if the coaches are ready to go, and we'll get this penultimate game, as we've decided, in round 2 underway. That's right, chainsaws hurt, man. Unless you're Chainsaw Man. Although I guess these probably still hurt. They just don't kill you. Alright, I see one of the coaches ready to go. Don't see the other coach available here. Hopefully they haven't forgotten, as we've talked about before. We're trying desperately to get this competition finished before Blood Bowl 3 is closed forever and Warhammer Blood Bowl takes over, which means missed scheduled games. Oh, I forgot to make an announcement. But missed scheduled games, unfortunately, are going to have to result in forfeitures. Boy, it'd be really sad if if tonight is just just a forfeit. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Fishy Fiends win. Good night. If you're unfamiliar with the structure of our league, we have 3 open competitions this season and 1 invitational. This is the invitational to crown the season champion this league. The 3 opens are open to anybody who wishes to play, whether they've played Blood Bowl for decades or whether they've never heard of the game. And then our competitions are structured based on how many entrants we get. And the winners and the runners-up of each of these competitions earn a spot in the Blood Bowl. And then other teams can earn a spot, depending on how that shakes out. This season, forfeiture wasn't an option in the gambling. That's right. I take your money. If it's a forfeiture, it's by the rules, it's a 2-0 win. So it would be the +2s would be the winners. All right, I'm going to see if I can hit up this other coach here. It looks like we have a missing coach. Oh no! Oh, look at that! Look at this! I am in shambles. Oh man! Oh man! Have we had anyone miss a game this season? We've had some forfeitures, but I don't think we've had anyone not make their scheduled game this season. Oh boy. Oh no. Cobblestorm, where are you at, Cobblestorm? We'll give Cobblestorm a healthy amount of time here. I don't want to have to issue the forfeit, so we'll see what happens. Oh, man. I feel like I'm behind on something, but I'm not really behind on anything. We should issue a Cobblestorm watch. Get them up on the highway signs. Cobblestorm alert. I think what my issue is, I'm in such I can't see. There's something wrong with the Twitch chat where I can't actually see who is in chat, and I think that has just put me in a mindset where I haven't prepared anything else. You know what I mean? Like everything else is just broken. Modius Lord, welcome to the stream. Modius Lord says that emote is my dice log most games. Yet another Railstair says, and here I was thinking how lucky I was to randomly open Twitch for the first time in ages and randomly catch the start of the game. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Modius Lord, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. SP Peeper says if it helps, I know it. Really? You can see who's in chat? Because I can't. I can't on any channel. Like whether it's my channel or anywhere else. Maybe I just need to refresh. Let's see. Nope, I have no idea. I have no idea. It's just not working. I mean, I can see everyone talking, but I can't actually see who's in chat. If you, yeah, if you alt F4, it shows you. Is that the key combination? Oh man, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. So, this one round, I won't get into the details of our structure. It can be a little complicated, but this round two, this competition is a single elimination bracket except for this round. This round here, the two losers can face off against each other, and the winner of that will advance to round 3. Oh, thank you very much, Clayface. Welcome to the stream. We'll advance to round 3. That's because basically we have these brackets, right? We have these our winners bracket. Each bracket needs a minimum of well, the upper bracket needs a minimum of four teams, but generally each bracket needs a minimum of 8 teams, and so there's a gap of 3. So the 2 finalists of a bracket plus the winner of a consolation match advances to the next round. This is a long-winded way to say that even if Cobblestorm doesn't make it tonight, the Gunner-Gets are still not eliminated from this competition. They'll have one more crack at it to face off against the Tizork Savage Boys to advance to round 3. Oh, man. Modius Lord says long queue time in Blood Bowl, just trying to be an easy win for someone. Oh, Cobblestorm. I hope everything's okay with Cobblestorm. I hope something serious hasn't happened. I don't know what we're gonna do if we don't have this game. You know what we could do, which we've never done before. I don't know if this is I don't know what the word I want. Ethical seems too potent of a word, but we could watch a random game and commentate that game, I suppose. Ajax the Right asks, is Spire here? I think Spire's here, yeah. Oh man, I'm so sad. I get sad when people can't play their games. Ajax the Right says, I don't know how you're gonna handle this, but if it's a forfeit, oh, that's not a bad idea, Ajax. What a hero you. Well, actually, I should leave that up to Spire. I don't want to sign Spire up for something that they're not prepared for. Which I feel like I already have with my excitement. I'm gonna retract my excitement. I'll let you and Spire work that out. There's no pressure. Hey! Hey! When I said no pressure, I meant there's pressure! Hey! All right. All right. So we might have it out here. In fact, we will have it out here. So what Ajax is recommending is, let's go over to the bracket. So the Fishy Fiends here are facing off against the Gunner-Gets. The winner, as it just so happens, will face off against Philosopher's Song here in round 3. Spire's the coach of Philosopher's Song. Ajax is the coach of the Fishy Fiends, who would earn a forfeiture win. And if that's the case, we can have our round 3 match tonight. We'd still have one round 2 match left, but that's fine. So we'll give Spire and Ajax, if you are okay with it, let's give Cobblestorm about another 9 minutes. Does that sound reasonable to you? If we can't get Cobblestorm in here in 9 minutes, it'll be a forfeit. We'll advance to round 3. All right. Not 8, not 10, 9. Well, I figured a 20-minute total time feels like a reason. It feels like enough time has passed where you can say, okay, they're not showing up. So, we'll see. Hopefully, Cobblestorm can make it. Hopefully, nothing's wrong. I hope everything's okay. Spire voted against me. Oh man. Well, while we wait for, why don't we just check out another game? Let's just see what's happening. Let's see what's happening. Let's see. What looks interesting? Let's say, you know what? I've always wanted to see Jared take on Jeebus Crust. let's see what's going on. All right, looks like we got Wood Elves versus Black Orcs. Wood Elf leap into a 2-die rush blitz here against Nizbob, the number 10 Gobbo. Needs an 8+ to break armor. No armor break. Nizbob, a loner thanks to the kickoff event here. Turn 4 for Written to Lose. Sorry, turn 5 now for the Great Black One! Trill goes really stupid up on the line of scrimmage. Ball currently on the 20-yard line over in the left wide zone. War Dancers, one of my favorite players in the game of Blood Bowl as a rookie. They are blodgers with leap. They have an MA8, Edge 2+, of course, because they are elves. Just in time to see elves doing elf things. That's right. Oh, is that the Blood Bowl 2 logo? That's awesome. You're gonna try to murder this War Dancer, as you do against Wood Elves. So Wood Elves, right? They're not Dark Elves, so they don't have the AV of 9+. They have the standard Elf armor of 8+. These War Dancers are so important that picking up that 3-die block, trying to get the knockdown there, that's not going to work out. Spent the loner roll trying spent the team reroll. Had to get through the loner roll there. Try to get the knockdown. Doesn't get it. Darth Maul's going to stay on his feet. You need the POW there, unless you have a skill like Tackle. But even if he got the knockdown there and didn't break armor, absolutely was going to try to foul this War Dancer off the pitch. Lots of players dedicated to that War Dancer now. Well, we'll see. We'll see if Nargly here, the level 4 Gobbo, can stay on his feet. As Bone Snapper, number 5 Black Orc here, level 2, picked up Pro. Must have randomed in Pro. Pulled back on the front right corner of the ball carrier. Turn 5 now for Written to Lose. So my friendly local nerd shop had an Easter sale going on. And it's actually 3 stores in one building. They have a toy and comic shop, they have a music and video shop, and they have a tabletop gaming shop. And then you can do this 3 times. I made sure that was on the up and up. You can do this 3 times. You can do it 1 time in each shop. So you walk into the shop, and they have a basket of plastic Easter eggs, and you pick an egg and you open it up, and inside is a discount of some sort, ranging from 10% to 50% on one item, or you could get like 10 or 20% off of all items. I got lucky. I drew 2 50% and 1 25%. So it was a fun time for me. Blitz on the ball carrier works out. Ball's going to pop out over in the left wide zone on the 8-yard line. 35 seconds on the clock here for Written to lose. Cobblestorm has 3 minutes. Come on, Cobblestorm, I believe in you. I mean, 17 minutes in, I don't actually, but I do. I believe in you. I got so I got a transformer in what's called the Masterpiece line, which is like that's like their most expensive line, I guess. It's their high dollar line. It's actually in the MPG line. So I got an all black Optimus Prime that like combines with his trailer into this like super armor. He's called Super Convoy. He's called Nucleon Quest Super Convoy, and it was awesome. I got that for half off at the music and video shop. I got a case for a record player I have called a Soundburger. And then over in the tabletop shop, I got a board game called The Defense of Procyon 3, which has 5 rule books. So a great day! Oh, and then later that day, I went to Barnes & Noble, and they had 50% off a board game, which I would never want at full price. Wow! 5 plus dodge works out, but couldn't do the 5 plus pickup. Oh, we're in the final countdown now. 35 seconds left for Cobblestorm. Come on, Cobblestorm! Electric Span says, I know how much you love reading rulebooks. Alright, let's kill this. 20 seconds, Cobblestorm. Please, Cobblestorm. Well, remember, even if Cobblestorm doesn't make it tonight, the Gunner will not be eliminated. They'll have one more match to play against the Tizark Savage Boys. And if they win that one, they'll advance to round 3. 5 seconds to go. Oh, no. That is it, unfortunately. That will be a forfeiture win for the Fishy Fiends. All right, give me a minute here. We'll set up our round 3 match. So let me give the win to the Fishy Fiends, and then we'll set up round 3. Ajax the Rat says, "Please, Rat Ogre, get the MVP." Yes, it's a normal a normal forfeiture win, so it's a win with rewards. So but they are random, of course. All right, Ajax, I'll let you know when that goes through, and then once it has, we will set up our oh shoot we'll make this work. The Blood Bowl admin back they have an admin tool. Very slow. very, very slow. All right, while that's going through, I'll explain this when the game during the game, but we're gonna kind of set up a faux round here. All right, Ajax, your forfeiture win should have gone through, so you can take a few minutes to kit out your team. I'm gonna send Ajax and Spire. I'm gonna send you guys an invitation to this faux round competition, and then I'll work out the rest later. But this will get us underway. So let me send you the invites. Right, I have to end the comp. Totally prepared. Let me make sure I'm not messing anything up here. All right, that's that. So now let's set this up. All right, Spire and Ajax, if you can accept your invites here, we'll get this round underway. Moob asks, does that mean the other side of the bracket can schedule their games as well? No. So, give me a second to get this started, and I'll explain how all that's going to work. But the short answer is no. As much as I would like it to be true, the short answer is no. Excellent. Let's make sure everything's set. This means I have no I have no overlays or anything for this game, but that's fine. That's fine. At least we get a game. All right, looks good. All right, we've got a game. Spire and Ajax. Whenever you guys are ready, you can start your game. And then we'll head on over there. So what's happened here, right? We'll go back to the bracket real quick. So what's happened here is because we're advancing into round 3, we still have one game in round 2 to play, but that's not really the issue. The real issue here is in round 3, Blood Bowl 3 doesn't really give us a way to like piecemeal a competition together. So the only way we could set this competition up automatically is to send invites to all 8 teams that are in round 3 before we can start it. If we can't do that, we would have to play the games kind of piecemeal, which we could do, and there could be an argument that we should do. Due to time constraints, but then I would have to manually manage these brackets and stuff, and it means that people would have to accept 3 times as many invites as they would otherwise, and so I don't know if that's worth it. All right, we're waiting for this game to get started. Of course, the Fishy Fiends have a forfeiture win to sort through. First, we'll see what they did here momentarily. I guess I should update update this too. Let's see. Update the title here as well. Mr. Rocker Crocker, thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. You've missed nothing except an unfortunate forfeiture due to a missing coach. I hope they're okay. Looks like nothing happening in the inducement phase here for the Fishy Fiends facing off against Philosophers. So just imagine a really cool overlay right here. Mr. Rocket Crocker says, damn, I mean, yay! I certainly don't need to get to bed. Alright, let me see if I can fix my audio now. All right, I think that fixes my audio. Here we go. War Master asks, are we doing new predictions? Yes, we are. We're going to set to 5 minutes, though. Good call. What is happening on the ground there? Philosopher's Songs wins the coin toss. They'll absolutely set up on offense first. All right, we've returned everybody's points. Oh, I'm so sorry. Look, I'm totally ready. I'm so on the ball. All right. Predictions up for 5 minutes only, so you'll get to see 5 minutes of the game to influence your prediction, should you wish. 3 players on the line for the defense, shifted slightly to the right here. 4 on the line for the offense. Philosopher's Song, of course, a lizard team. The name of the game here are the Skinks. Fishy Fiends are going to be trying to hunt down the Skinks. 4 on the pitch right now, but they have a bench of 2 more. These Skinks are the only effective ball carriers on this roster. Plato, the Chameleon Skink with an MA of 7 in the halfback position, will get to move 3 extra spaces on the kickoff due to on the ball. It lets him move 3 spaces for free on a kickoff or a pass. Currently back to receive is Socrates, the massive MA9 Skink, blodger, sidestepper, star of the show here, level 4. You're doing league management on the fly. Yes, indeed I am. All right, here's the kick. Deep kick here. Sargason the foul. The kicker for the Fishy Fiends. Fishy Fiends don't actually have a kicker. Ball's going to bounce 1 extra space here on the kickoff. It'll end up on the 24-yard line. Deep kick. Not a problem for Socrates with the MA of 9. MA9 can get you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No problem. First block of the evening will be an armor break on a kind sir the Ahoy Boy. A stun on the Minotaur. Another armor break on the left side of the line will be a KO against Nutters the Brine. 1-man player advantage for Philosopher's Song. Well done, Mr. Rocket Crocker. Oh no! 3 blocks, 3 armor breaks, 2 stuns and a KO. Blitz still available. I should make an announcement about the forfeit. Let me do that real quick. Actually, I'm not going to announce it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll have to think about it. It feels almost accusatory, and that's not the way I mean it. War Master demanding death. So I guess I didn't actually fix my audio. What's wrong with my overlay? There we go, Mr. Rocker Crocker. Lowering the rush failure rate from 900% to a paltry 99%. Good 3+ pickup by Socrates. Plenty of movement left. And the skink will move up to the 18, 16, 14-yard line. Turn 1 now for the Fishy Fiends. Oh, you know what it is? I think it's, let's see. That's right, super professional. I don't think that's it. Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. It's, I'd have to restart OBS for it to work. And I'm not going to do that. Elder Marino, welcome to the stream. Elder Marino says, I'll tell you what? Spire is making me want to play Lizardman again next season. I'm excited to see how all the teams have changed for BB 2025. Good knockdown over the right wide zone against Nietzsche is dead. Sargason the foul on the block. This Rat Ogre, of course. So we briefly talked about how there's 3 big guys on a Chaos Renegades team. That's kind of their gimmick. The Rat Ogre can be made reliable due to his nega trait. So the nega trait here is Animal Savagery. And when they fail that roll, if they have a friendly player beside them, they can beat up on that player and then still take their action. That's why they can be made so reliable. And that's why they're absolutely deadly. The Ogre on the block. KOs Can't. The number 2 Saurus blocker. 10v10 on the pitch. The Saurus is strength 4, AV10+. Of course, the Ogre with Mighty Blow got a +1 to the armor roll, making that effectively a 9+. Double time Skitterwake. Almost didn't see him tonight, but due to the forfeit, is on the field playing very, very deep safety here. MA8 for that Skaven player. Elden Marino says, I really want to play High Elves, but they probably won't be out in time for the start of the season. I can't remember what Warhammer Blood Bowl's coming with. I guess... Are they coming with the same thing that's in the box? SB Beaver says, can you count? I think that's Skinks in scoring position. Yeah, it comes with the two teams in the box then. Wittgenstein on the block here. The left tackle gets a knockdown. The name of the game against this Chaos Renegades team is to keep the big guys at bay. You can do this in a number of ways. Of course, you could just try to get the... Ooh. Bruce the Crocs fails the boneheaded roll, which means he's going to stare off into space and lose his tackle zones. You try to keep these big guys at bay, and you can do this in a number of ways. If you've got the dice, you can just try to block them down, right? Maybe leverage some skills, such as Claw. But another thing you can do is you can leverage their nega traits against them. So if the Rat Ogre is coming at you and doesn't have a friendly, then the Rat Ogre is less reliable. Or if there is a friendly, maybe you go after the friendly target, and now the Rat Ogre can't activate if he fails that Animal Savagery roll. The Minotaur always wants to be blocking or blitzing for that 2+. If they're not, it's a 4+ to move. So if you can get that Minotaur away from the drive, far enough away from the drive where the only real effectual action they have is to just move back toward the drive, there's a 50% chance they can't do that, right? If they can't block or can't blitz, that's how you can keep them at bay, right? So trying to split up these big guys, trying to tear them apart, trying to leverage their nega traits against them is how you can minimize their impact to your team. And then, of course, if you do get the knockdown, maybe not a bad idea to go for the fouls on these things, as you'll see these coaches often do. Very similar to how we talked about those Wood Elves, right? With the War Dancers, they're so paramount to a Wood Elf strategy that if you get a knockdown, you go after it. Here's the foul by Plato. Gets a stun out of it. Plato does not get called off the pitch. Plato, the dirty player's sneaky get for for Philosopher's Song. Turn 2 now for the Fishy Fiends. Iron Cynic says, Brett seems shockingly bad. Moob says, they're not awful, they're just mid-tier. I haven't seen any of the new teams in action yet. I haven't even finished reading the rulebook. My year is busy. Festoing the Barnacle, standing up and taking the mark against Hegel. Hegel, the killer, on this Lizard team with block, which keeps you standing on a both down result. Guard, which always lends an assist unless he's up against defensive. Tackle turns off the dodge skill, and of course Mighty Blow gives you a +1 to your armor or your injury roll, whichever of those two you need it for. I mean, most PP players don't read the rulebook, says Mr. Rocker Crocker. We rely on others to do it instead. Iron Cynic says, I just got my half team. I'm gonna... You and me both. You and me both. I have my completely gray plastic. $40 seconds on the clock here for the Fishy Fiends. Three-die blocker over the right wide zone against Nietzsche's Dead will be a knockdown. This is Sarkison the foul on the block. 7+ breaks armor. Not a knockdown. Not a knockdown. He does have frenzy into the knockdown. Not a knockdown due to dodge. But this will be a knockdown, and 7+ will break armor. No armor break here, though. I'm totally on the ball. It's cool. It's cool. Blitz over on the left side here. Hunting these skinks, as we briefly discussed right before the game started. It's going to get the knockdown here thanks to tackle. Looking for an 8+ to break armor. Got the KO. Well done. Again, if you can get these skinks off the pitch, a Lizard team has a real tough time picking that ball up and moving it downfield. Another armor break on a Saurus. Gets a stun this time against Wittgenstein. The number 3 Saurus over on the left side of the line was in that tackle position. Turn 3 now for Philosopher's Song. Two-die blitz against Heidegger here. Gets a POW. I'm sorry, against bad luck by Heidegger. Gets nothing out of this. Ball in the hands of Philosopher's Song's Socrates on their own 2-yard line. Socrates with an MA of 9. 2 rushes gives them an effective movement of 11 in a turn. There's 13 spaces from the line of scrimmage to the end zone, which means they are 3 spaces out of scoring range right now. SB Beaver says, has that Crocs done anything yet? That Crocs has contemplated the meaning of life. Look, it's escaping Blitzer with wrestle instead of block. 4-point cage now set up at the 4-yard line. Another foul attempt here. Doesn't get called off, but didn't break armor this time. 2-die uphill against Festoing the Barnacle. Needs to spend the re-roll here, or else that would have been a knock or an attacker down. Will be a push instead. Deciding whether to follow up here or not. Might want to try to keep Hegel free. Yeah, he'll stay put. Turn 3 now for the Fishy Fiends. Fishy Fiends looking to remove Skinks. Philosopher's Song looking to keep these big guys out of the drive. Freeing up Festoon the Barnacle means he's now going to move in and mark the right side of the cage. Remember, the Crocs here is not exerting tackle zones due to failing Boneheaded. The corner is actually covered here by Plato and perhaps the downed Wittgenstein. You know what I should do? I should just do the overlays anyway. Let's see what happens. Oh wait! What am I talking about? I've got one half of them. Here. Let's look at the side by side. Look at that. The Fishy Fiends ranked seventh this season. In terms of league points here with a record of 13-7-7. Gone against. I'm not sure who they are. Not sure what that team is. That's right. That's right. There you go. 3-die block by Sargason the Foul. Will get a pal and breaks armor. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a dead skink. Nietzsche is dead. Is dead. Hey, I fixed the audio. Hey. Yeah, we're getting back to normal. Well done. Killing the level 3 skink runner. Prophetic name indeed. Did shadowing work out there? SB Beaver, thank you very much for the bits. Turn 4 now for Philosopher's Song. I can't even set a game score. Push against Festoon the Barnacle, the number 2 Ogre, to clear up the right side of the cage. Stand-up blitz by Wittgenstein. 2-die blitz against the mysterious Dark Elf. Got a POW out of this. Looking for a 9+. Iron Cynic says, I thought he'd use the Blodger to keep the Rat Ogre busy. Philosopher's Song ended the Dungeon Bowl. That was our final open competition this season. Ended the Dungeon Bowl as the Division C champions. Crosses the line of scrimmage here and turn 4 to the opposing 2-yard line now. 1 space away from scoring position. Another foul attempt against the mysterious, but can't break armor. Doesn't get called off. Even if he rolled doubles there, because there was no armor break and he's a sneaky get, the ref would see nothing. Final turn of the first quarter coming up here. Fishy Fiends with that Rat Ogre by his lonesome. Again, this is exactly what we were talking about. The one of the tactics that this Lizard team could employ to try to keep these big guys out of the drive. Now the Rat Ogre by himself, if he fails his Animal Savagery roll, he's not going to be able to take his action. Here's the blitz. 2-die blitz against Wittgenstein. Got the POW here. Looking for an 8+ to break armor with Claw. Claw treats everybody's armor value as if it's 8+. There it is. Well done by the Fishy Fiends. Got a Kaz on Wittgenstein. The Oppo gets called in and saves the day. Earns his paycheck. Keeps Wittgenstein alive. He'll go back to the reserve box. Wow. Great use of Claw there. Two-die block against Hume over on the left side of the pitch. Gets the knockdown, no armor break. Fishy Fiends turning up the heat. Mr. Rocket Cracker praying to Nuffle as we start the second quarter of this round 3 match. Philosopher Song in possession, but they are marked by 2 of the Renegades players, 2 of the Renegade linemen, in fact. Dead ahead. SB Beaver says, I'll have to ask my doctor the next time I see him why he hasn't tried the hatchet to the next trick. To the neck. Looks like it works every time. Looks like it works some of the time. Blitz over on the left side here. 2-die blitz by Schlegel. Mighty Blow block. Saris gets the knockdown. Doesn't break armor on Dark Eye, the number 14 lineman. All 3, oh no, all 2 of the 3 big guys piled in this scrum here. Bruce, the big guy for the Lizards, of course, in there as well. They say it's possible for the Meat Cleaver to make it worse. Move says, if you can convince him to try it, you'll likely not have to worry about whatever you went in for anymore. Oh no, Bruce went boneheaded. Boneheaded as a negatrait. The Ogre shares that negatrait as well. And it means when you... Oh no. No! Failed dodge by Socrates. Is going to see the ball bounce to the 2-yard line, marked by the Crocs that has no tackle zones, and Heidegger, the number 4 Saris blocker, who is marked by that big ol' Ogre. So that boneheaded negatrait, you roll a d6 before you activate, and on a 1, just a 1, you lose your activation and you lose your tackle zones until you succeed that roll on a future turn. SB Beaver says that may be the first skink failed dodge ever. Failed the animal savagery. Blitz will beat up on his ally. Gets the KO here. But this is why that Rat Ogre is so devastating. He had that friendly there to now try to take out Plato. Plato, not a sidestepper. 2-die frenzy follow-up into a both standing result. And now the 2-die against Heidegger to get the POW here. Wanted to clear that assist to get the 2-die with the Ogre. What a removal! 5v4. Removed another Saris. 3 Sarises removed from the pitch. Mr. Rocker Crocker demanding death. 2+ pickup by the Dark Elf, the Mysterious. Good recovery by the defense here. The Fishy Fiends have the ball on the opposing 10-yard line. Double time Skitter Wake is going to cover the Dark Elf player on the right side. Turn 6 for Philosophers saw great defense here by the Fishy Fiends. Yeah, so I said I'd explain it. I don't remember if I did, but we can't. Oh no, I did explain it. we can't have the other round 3 games scheduled because we need to get everyone to accept an invite into the bracket, or else everyone's going to be accepting invites every other day. Blitz by the killer against Double Time Skitterwake. This will work out thanks to the tackle skill. Actually, Double Time doesn't even have the dodge skill. Had a +1 to break armor, but rolled a 5. Didn't work out and rushes to take a mark on the Mysterious. Another failed dodge here. Tried to get through that prehensile tail and it worked out. Oh! Oh! Oppo gets spent. Oh! Well, he's not dead, I guess. Double Time Skitterwake fouled off the pitch by Plato. Plato on the 75% dodge thanks to prehensile tail. Got the foul. Got the murder. The Oppo's going to keep him alive, although seriously injured. He'll be out for the rest of the game. Frenzy follow-up here by Sarkis and the foul. Got the push on the first block, both standing on the second. And now a 2-die against Bruce will be a knockdown. 9+ breaks armor. Doesn't get it. Bruce also with the injury. And the ref didn't see nothing. That's right. Forgot to sharpen his cleaver. Trying to get some protection on the ball carrier. Shifts to the right side here. So he had that Rat Ogre come in on the blitz. Put a player in position here to try to mark out these two players. Shifts the ball carrier in this direction. And now gets another player to try to protect. Turn 7 for Philosopher's Song. At this point, I think they've got to shift 100% to defensive mode here. And try to stop this Dark Elf. Dark Elf seems to be defensive. So no... keep them safe. Socrates with an MA9 can come in on the blitz, but needs some assistance or else it's going to be an uphill. Mr. Rocker activating the Telestrator of Doom. We've already had 2 deaths. Takes a mark with Socrates. Is this a dodge away by Plato? It's going to be a 4+ dodge. Mr. Rocker demanding death. 5v5 right now. Gonna rush for the other assist. Spends a reroll here. Rush fails 900% of the time. What? I mean, I can only say it so many times. Turn 7 now for the Fishy Fiends. They were going to try to knock down Sarkis in the foul to free up, I think, the Skink. And maybe try to mark out the Dark Elf orthogonally here. Instead, Winter Gust is going to push Plato aside. And that's going to free up Sarkis in the foul. Oh, no, he's not free. He's actually marked by Eggle. SB Beaver lowered the rush failure rate from the Games Workshop mandated 900% to a league acceptable 99%. Two-die Blitz. Two-die Blitz will not be enough here. Socrates a sidestepper. He'll remain marking the ball carrier. Sidesteps to the right. Continues to mark the Dark Elf. It's a 2+ dodge away. Fishy Fiends with 3 rerolls remaining here in turn 7. Both teams with 7 minutes 6 seconds left on their bonus clocks. They've dipped into bonus time just for 24 seconds each. Two-die against Bruce way back at the line of scrimmage is going to be a push by a kind sir. The number 1 Minotaur. Frenzy follow-up into a knockdown here. Some gunner gets info. Good dodge, well done. Gonna stall this out for a turn. Turn 8 for Philosopher's Song. Two-die block here in turn 8 for Philosopher's Song. Look at the knockdown. Trying to get a removal here. They don't get anything out of this. Yeah. A relevant stat to the game, right? 1-die block against Sarkis and the Falcon. Spend the final reroll here. Gets just a push out of this. Oh no! Failed dodge. Tried to mark the ball carrier. Won't be able to stop the score here. The Fishy Fiends are going to take the lead 1-0 at the end of the half. But really, it was scary that Socrates might have been injured on the failed dodge. We'll take some blocks before scoring. Plenty of rerolls remaining. Trying to hunt the Skigs. Very well done by Ajax. Understanding the odds, has plenty of die rolls, or plenty of I was gonna say favoritism. That's not the right word, but the odds there are pretty good of not causing a turnover there, and hunted the Skink to get another one off the pitch. 1-0 the score for the Fishy Fiends. Philosopher's Song is going to thank Nuffle that they got back their 2 KOs. Unfortunately for them, the Fishy Fiends will get back theirs as well. And now Philosopher's Song to set up on defense for the first time this game. One-man player advantage, it looks like. Let's see. 3, 6. Yeah, one-man player advantage for the Fishy Fiends as we go into the second half of this game. They're in the lead. Spire says blah. SB Beaver says Ajax loses 3 points for having 3 team rerolls left. So I will say this. The winner of this game will go on to play the winner of the consolation match between the Tizark Savage Boys and the Gunner Gits. So we might still get our Fishy Fiends Gunner Gits match. It might still happen. Three on the line for the defenses. They set up in we'll call that a 3-3-4 formation, keeping those 4 skinks, the 4 remaining skinks, in fact, safe. 4 on the line for Philosopher's Song. We've got the Rat Ogre in the halfback position to keep him safe and mobile. On the high catch, Black Wolf of the Deep tries to catch the 4+, doesn't work out. Ball's going to bounce to the 10-yard line, and now turn 9 for the Fishy Fiends. Oh no, you were tripped by that tail. I saw that. Fails the boneheaded roll by festoing the barnacle, the center. He's going to stare off into space. Remember, the Minotaur, the right guard, right here, he his Negatrait fails on a 2+ or a 4+. I'm sorry, a 2+ on a block or a blitz. Otherwise, it's a 4+. It's called Unchanneled Fury. If he fails that die roll, he doesn't lose his tackle zones, though. Frenzy follow up into a push. Frenzy not just good for getting extra dice to knock players down, also good for shoving players out of position. But if you're not careful, also pretty good at shoving you out of position. And if you're really not careful, shoving you into an unfavorable or an uphill block. One die over on the left side of the line here. The rookie can't. Will be pushed aside by Winter Gust. Rat Ogre Blitz. 2-die blitz against Bruce will be a knockdown. 9+ breaks armor. Frenzy requires you to follow. Wow! Requires you to follow up, as you saw there. I wanted to dodge away to safety. It was a 3+ dodge. Works out. Does have the dodge skill on the Rat Ogre. So that Rat Ogre would get a free reroll on the dodge. Dodge 2 heads. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Also has 2 heads. Although you wouldn't know it by looking at the model. Turn 9 now to the Philosopher's Song. SPB said in Season 1, I think I hurt myself more than the opponents did due to Frenzy on my Troll Slayer. Yeah, it'll happen. The Crocs is going to remain boneheaded on the ground. 2-die against the Minotaur, a kind sir. Will be a push. Now 2-die against the Minotaur once more. This time will be a knockdown. Looking for a 9 or higher. Got it. That is one of the 3 big guys removed from the pitch. Well done by Philosopher's Song. Electric Man says, I hope the model show mutations in Warhammer Blood Bowl. I am convinced they will not. I think the business model is, if you want that to happen, you've got to buy the pieces in the Warpstone store or whatever it's called. Another foul here. Got a KO out of it. And again, does not get called off the pitch. Where is the ref? Where's the referee? Unbelievable. Where's the decorum out there? In this noble game. Turn 10 for the Fishy Fiends. under a minute to play here in the turn, and the ball's going to cross the line of scrimmage to the opposing the opposing 4-yard line. El New Burrito says, Plato's like blah blah, a priori, blah blah logic, and the ref fell asleep just like I did in Philosophy 201. Frenzy follow-up against Schlegel gets the knockdown here. Iron City says defensive is so good as a strength 5 player. Yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit. So, right, if you're unfamiliar with how blocking works in Blood Bowl, is everybody has a strength stat you can see here for Sargus and the foul. That's a 5, and this is used to determine how many block dice you're chucking. So you compare your strength to the player you're trying to block. If the strengths are equal, 1 block die is rolled. If the strengths are unequal, 2 block dice are rolled. And if one strength is more than double the other, 3 block dice are rolled. Whoever has the higher strength chooses which of the die will be, or which of the dice will be sort of the active die for that block. So when you have strength 5 and you think about the game of Blood Bowl, the average strength, the median average is 3. And so a strength of 5 means if I take a strength 3 player against strength 5 and I want to block them, that's an uphill block. That's a 2-die block where my opponent, the strength 5 opponent, gets to choose which die is going to be the die for the block. So if I want to roll 2 dice in my favor, I need to employ another rule of this game, and that's the assist rule. So if I have a player that is marking my opponent and is unmarked by another opponent, he will basically add +1 to my strength, right? So if I'm in a strength of 3 and I want to block down a strength of 5 with 2 dice, I need 3 assists, right? I need a 3 +1 +1 +1 to make it a 6 versus 5. That gets tough for a number of reasons, right? So let's say I'm here and I want to block this guy. 3, 4, 5, 6. And remember, these guys can't be marked, so there can't be like players here or here or here, or else they don't let an assist. That's tough to do because you need to take up so many spaces that you're probably going to get marked. So instead, what all right. So what you can do instead is you can get somebody with the guard skill, right? And the guard skill allows you to lend an assist even if you're marked. That's great, right? Strength 5, you need 3 guys. That's great. The problem with that is defensive negates the guard skill. So if you have a big guy, a strength 5 guy with the defensive skill, it is real tough to get in enough assists to get that 2 die or even that 1 die against the player. So it's very, very good skill to have on a big guy. Turn 11 for the Fishy Fiends. 3 dive lock into triple pushes. Frenzy follow up here into the POW against Descartes. Looking for a 7+. Got it. Got a stun out of it. Bajib, welcome to the stream. Bajib says, is catching a kick before it bounces just a player's agility test, or is it a -1 on the agility test? It is a -1. Yes, correct. Spire's right. In BB 2020, it's a -1. So if you're using the 2020 rule set or the Blood Bowl second season edition rule set, it's a -1. SBB are lowering the rush failure rate once more after that failed blitz. Fishy Fiends in possession of the ball. They're in the lead 1-0. Hanging on to 3 rerolls for the game. 2 for the Lizards of Philosopher's Song. We're in round 3. That means whichever team loses tonight, that is the end of their season. "15 teams qualified for the Blood Bowl. The 15 best teams this season." Turn 11 now for Philosopher's Song. 2-die block against Nutters the Brine. Double pals here. Looking for a 10. I'm sorry, looking for a 9+ with Mighty Blow. Two die against Hughes Terror. Gets a push over in the right wide zone. SP Beaver says the Crocs is just a 6 away from a blitz on the ball. That's right. That's right. 6s happen. Two die against Festoon the Barnacles. Got the pal here. Needs a big 10+. 9+ the median average for armor value in the game of Blood Bowl. And remember that a 2-die 6 or a 2d6 roll is a bell curve. So the difference between 9+ and 10+ is not linear. It's actually fairly significant. Gets a stun against Winter Gust over on the right side. Philosopher's Song keeping Festoon, trying to keep Festoon out of the drive here. Sargason the foul, currently with no friendlies to assist him. Philosopher's Song on the bonus clock here. Under 7 minutes. Plenty of time left. You get a 7 minute 30-second bonus clock for the duration of the game, so you can take your time in some turns when you run out of time. In Blood Bowl 2, it was not the case. You got whatever your league was set up for, that's how many minutes you got on the clock. So it was very easy to run out of time. Iron Cynic says, is it a run bad turn? No blitz? Here's the blitz. 2-die uphill on Black Wolf of the Deep. Spins the reroll into double pals! Double pals by Aristotle! Knocks the ball out of the hands of Black Wolf of the Deep and will move one space forward to mark the Mysterious. Spent a reroll for the knockdown. Philosopher's Song down to 1 reroll for the game. Just be like Pips. Spent the reroll on the 2-die uphill. It worked out. 2-die block on Aristotle coming back here. And this will be a push. Iron Cynic says that was extremely spicy. Yes, it was. Elder Bruno says you will never do anything in this world without courage. It is the greatest quality of the mind, next to honor. I never knew a skink said that. Fails the ball pickup. Works out with the free reroll thanks to sure hands. And now Black Wolf of the Deep will recover the ball on the Chaos Renegade 6-yard line. We'll retreat the ball back to the 8. 1 die against Hume will be a knockdown. with 30 seconds left on the clock here for the Fishy Fiends. Fishy Fiends don't have to score. They just have to stop Philosopher's Song from scoring. Pretty important dodge away there, worked out by the rookie lineman number 10, Hughes Terror. He's going to mark Aristotle. And now, turn 12 for Philosopher's Song. Final turn of the third quarter. They need to get on the board this half, or else this is the end of their season. Minute 24 on the clock here for Philosopher's Song in the third quarter. One reroll left for the entire game. Of course, they could get a reroll back thanks to the good grace of Nuffle on a kickoff event, but otherwise they've got one left. A blitz to start the turn. 2-die blitz against Hughes Terror. Gets the knockdown. 8+ will break armor. No armor break. This frees up Aristotle. Well, doesn't really free up Aristotle, I suppose. What a tactical game this has been. SPB wants to see another skink uphill blitz. But we won't see it this turn. Here comes the lizard pressure. Taking a mark against the Mysterious. Again, it's a 2+ dodge away for the Mysterious right now, but every time you make your opponent roll dice, those dice can fail. The Lizards have done a pretty good job of splitting up the big guys here. One's off the pitch. The Rat Ogre off by his lonesome. And the Human Ogre pretty well marked out of the drive right now. Ooh, that was fast. Socrates takes a mark behind the ball carrier. Plato the Younger. Plato's son? Plato the Younger. Or is that Plato's brother? Takes a mark against collateral damage over on the left side here. Turn 13 for the Fishy Fiends. Could this be the final quarter of Philosopher's Song season? We'll see. This has been a long season in Skate Cakes. I have a short incubation time. One die block against Aristotle will be a push. This is a blitz by Black Wolf of the Deep. That's the ball carrier. He'll follow up. Spire says, I really need him to fail something. Dark Eye with the 3+ dodge to get back into this drive and try to play some protection. Double rushes to cover the back right corner of the ball carrier. Two-die block over the left side here. Uses the pro reroll to fish for something better than a push, but we'll take the push here. Pro skill allows you to reroll a die provided you can get through the pro roll in the first place. It's one of the few skills that lets you roll a subset of a die pool. And so you can use it in a number of ways, and that's one of the really potent ways you can use it. You get, say, a push and something else. Well, the push is fine, but you want to really fish for that knockdown. You can keep the push, reroll another die, and hope you roll into a POW. Turn 13 for Philosopher's Song. They've got 4 turns to get on the board. They have Socrates in scoring position right now. Rat Ogre desperately trying to get back into this drive. 2-die against Nutters the Brine. This will be a knockdown. 9+ will break armor. Chain pushes Black Wolf of the Deep off to the left. Good armor break. Good armor break here as Nutters the Brine will be stunned for a turn. Might be out for the rest of the drive here. Will be stunned on turn 14. On turn 15, we'll have an effective 2 MA of movement as it requires 3 MA to stand up. And at that point, the ball might be too far away to get back into the drive. Here's the blitz on the ball carrier. It's a both standing result. The final reroll is spent into a both standing result. Another block on the ball carrier. This time we'll get the knockdown. Can't follow up to defend. Breaks armor. Got the KO. And the ball, whoa, pops out of the hands of Socrates. But Socrates just couldn't quite hold on. Socrates will have another opportunity here on the 3+ to recover the ball. There it is. Philosopher's Song gets on the board. Spends the final reroll. Couldn't quite knock down the ball carrier, but that's all right. The SAR is good. And Socrates was there to get it into the end zone. 1-1 the score. Philosopher's Song with the defensive touchdown. That's exactly what they needed. Now they need to defend for 3 turns. If they can do that, we're going to overtime. Electric Man says, I'm not backseating, but I think pals would have been better than pushes. Yeah, it's a tricky line to ride. If I think anyone's like actually like backseating, I'll say something. But also I have to watch that too. Like, I hesitate to bring this up because then it'll be super obvious. But sometimes I will deliberately not say anything because I fear if I do, that's perhaps providing my opinion in an undue or an unfair way. But also, I mean, you got to talk about the game, right? so it's a line you have to ride. But anyway, you're totally good, Electrics Man. You're totally fine. Let him that would move the world first move himself into the end zone. A 4 here. I rolled a 1 on the D3. 4-man blitz. This could put a crimp in the Fishy Fiends' plans. Two-die blitz over on the right side is a push against Dark Eye. Electric Man says mine was a joke. Good news. My advice is often a joke. Only Marina says rolling lots of pals is how you win Blood Bowl. I didn't roll many and I'm not in the playoffs anymore. Yeah, early that blitz has allowed these lizards to get past this offensive formation, and now they're going to be a nuisance right from the jump as 2 skinks are going to get near this ball. Look at that! Plato the Younger showing that he deserves to be here in the Blood Bowl. Two rushes and caught the ball. And now, At the start of turn 14, the Fishy Fiends thought they would be on offense. They've got to play defense. 2-die block over in the right wide zone against Schlegel will be a both standing result. Another block, this time a POW. 8+ breaks armor with bad luck. Doesn't get it. Rolled a 5. A mark against the Rat Ogre. A mark against the ball carrier. A mark against the Rat Ogre? A mark for the Rat Ogre. And that's why the Rat Ogre failed the animal savagery roll. Here's the blitz. 3-die blitz. Got the POW on Plato the Younger. 7+ breaks armor. There it is. Plato the Younger out of the drive. He gets knocked out. The ball's going to bounce one space forward to the 12-yard line. El Nubarino rooting for this Lizard defense. Spire says there's also broadcast lag, so it's not like things are being predicted. Yeah, I deliberately add that, in fact. But yes, that is true. Who needs 2 heads when you're rolling 6s? 1-die block against Hume gets a push. So that Rat Ogre being next to that ball is significant. If the Fishy Fiends, not the Fishy Fiends, if Philosopher's Song wants to try to grab that ball and dodge away, that prehensile tail is going to make that dodge a -1. Failed dodge by Wintergust over in the left wide zone will be a turnover. Turn 14 for Philosopher's Song. Two-die block against the Doctor. Gets a knockdown. Took a mark against the Dark Elf. Wittgenstein, the marking player, off to the left side of the ball. Ball currently on the 12-yard line, just outside that right wide zone. Blitz on the line. 2-die blitz. Gets the knockdown. 8+ to break armor. Plenty of movement left. Positions to cover the line. Spaces out 1 space to the left. 44 seconds left on the clock. 2-die block against the Ogre. Gets the knockdown here. The Crocs comes in to mark the Rat Ogre. Five seconds to go. Reposition. Still playing safety. Moves them over in the right wide zone. Tries to dodge away from the Rat Ogre. Going for the ball! Unbelievable! As I cough myself to death. 4+. Ah! What? Unbelievable! Absolutely unbelievable! Philosopher's Song, with the bold play, takes the lead late in the game, 2-1. 2 back-to-back defensive touchdowns. 4+ dodge, 4+ pickup, and he wasn't done there. Another 4+ to a 2+. Holy moly! El Nubarito praised enough of Move says, well, this is not how I expected the game to go these last couple of turns. SB Deaver says the rush was the most surprising part. Anyone can dodge a prehensile tail. Philosopher's Song wins the kickoff event again, gets a 1 on the D3. This time it's solid defense. Anybody who's not marked on the defense can reset in a legal defensive formation. Oh boy, what a touchdown that was. What a touchdown that was. And now the Fishy Fiends have got to make some magic happen. Turn 15. The ball on the 12-yard line in the left wide zone. The Fishy Fiends have to end this turn in scoring position. The mysterious, the most likely candidate to score. The Fishy Fiends are going to have to pray to Nuffle. There they go. Going down the right wide zone. Here's the blitz. 3-die blitz against Descartes. Got the pow. Breaks armor. That's a skink they don't have to worry about. If they can mark out the Saurus just like that, then they'll be in pretty good shape here to at least control the pitch. The best strategy is to grease your skink before the match. Iron Cynic says, this sucks so much with the line rat on the sideline. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Under a minute here for the Fishy Fiends. Plenty of time on the bonus clock. Oh, they can't afford this. Can't afford this. They are technically still alive, but they are in real trouble here. Turn 15 for Philosopher's Song. Philosopher's Song out of rerolls. The 2-die here, not going to get the knockdown. They'll push to the side to get Hegel in on this ball. The Skinks are a-coming. There's one marking collateral damage. Technically alive is the best alive. Do you believe in miracles? We've seen plays with low odds succeed before. We saw the infamous Nick Satan play with the 3.7% chance of success work out to advance to the playoffs. Nick Satan, the current league champion. There's 2 marks. Is he going to make it a third? Does a third actually help? Sixes happen. Sixes happen. That's right. It was another lizard team, in fact. So I think this, I mean, it's got to be 666. Oh, God. He's got to go in, pick up the ball, dodge in, pick it up, and pass it, right? Pass it so he can hand off to Dark Eye. I mean, I guess, let's see, 2, 2. Yeah, he can't reach it from here. Turn 16 for the Fishy Fiends. Can they make a miracle happen? 3 6s in a row happen all the time. That's right. Three plus dodge on the blitz. That works out. Here we go. I think he's going to try to pop the ball out here. Yes, indeed. Aristotle pushed onto the ball. All right. Now marked by 2 skinks. 2 lizards instead of 3. Good dodge. Pickup. Fails, and that is it. Philosopher's Song wins this one, but can they win it 3-1 instead of 2-1? What a comeback in this game. Absolutely unbelievable. What a way to win with that final touchdown. SB Beaver, thank you very much for the bits. Gets a push result here against Nutters the Brine. Move says GG to both coaches. Pretty crazy how this one played out. This one was absolutely fantastic. Fantastic game. Both coaches should feel very, very proud of their play. Not only for playing so well this season to make it to the Blood Bowl, but, I mean, this game was fantastic. Iron Six says Ajax Riot had some rough dice here. Yeah, for sure, for sure. But still played a very, very good game. Two-die block against Black Wolf of the Deep. Breaks armor, looking for some SPP here. Doesn't get it. 4 plus pickup. 1, 2, 3. Does not work out this time. That'll be the end. 2-1, the final here. Philosopher's Song, against the odds, are going to advance. They were down 1-0 until the 4th quarter, and they end up winning this one. 2-1. Very, very well done. And with that win, Philosopher's Song will advance to the quarterfinals. They'll be facing off against the winner between the Tizoric Savage Boys and the Gutter Gets. Very, very well played by both coaches. Oh, man, what a game that was. All right, let's take a look at the schedule. Well, there's nothing on the schedule, actually. So we don't have to take a look at the schedule before we leave. Man, oh man. Well, actually, let's take a look at the bracket. Let's take a look at the bracket before we leave. So again, the Tizoric Savage Boys and the Gutter Gets have not been eliminated. That's an idiosyncrasy of round 2. They will play each other in a consolation match. The winner of that game will advance to face off against Philosopher's Song in the quarterfinals. So we've already got our first quarterfinalist. That will be Philosopher's Song. Congratulations once again to Spire. That was a great play. Again, these are the very best teams all season long. So and we saw absolutely great play by Ajax the Riot in this matchup. Just a super lucky touchdown by Spire. But credit to Spire there, saying, look, what do I have to lose? Right? This is a big part of the game. Saying, you know what? What is my risk analysis, right? If I fail this, so what? But if I succeed, I win. So, really good presence of mind there by Spire as well. Again, two fabulous coaches, some of the very best we've ever seen in this league. My thanks to Ajax for participating. Hope to see them back in Season 6. But we will see Philosophers Song back in the quarterfinals. My congratulations once again to that team. That means we've got 2 Lizard teams standing still. And I've got to play one of them. All right, that'll do it. Excuse me. That'll do it for this evening. Our consolation match, our final round 2 match, will be scheduled, and we'll start to get coaches to accept their invites for round 3 as well. And when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to that schedule on our website at maml.club. That's maml.club. Or TBD is the most common time to play. That's right. Here on Twitch or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, X, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Oh, and if you want to hang out in our Discord, I'll put a link in chat. That's not a link. That's a link. There you go. You can come hang out in our Discord channel. You can talk to the shop. We also have dedicated channels for standings and for the schedule. And the schedule channel is in your local time zone, so you don't have to do any weird math to figure out when the next game will be. But the one thing you got to do, is play this game. It's super rad. Play Blood Bowl. You got to play it. I love it. It's so good. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation on Xbox, and a tabletop forum at your local friendly game store. Until our final round 2 match and round 3. Take care, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I'm glad we got a game in. We'll see you back here for our next game here in Blood Bowl number 5. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Monday evening.